and at such a young age, it's going to be difficult, but it's something you can definitely do. So I would tell you, when she gets a new customer, make it such a big deal that she feels like she's a top earner of that company and she just got a new customer. So showcase that, showcase how amazing she is. Share her story at every opportunity that you can. Make her feel like she's an active member and she's not just the mom.
Okay, got you. I got you. I'm taking notes right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you, really.
You're the best. Hey, Angel, guess who joined us?
I see Kayla.
Kayla.
Hola, my friend.
Hello.
I miss you so much.
I miss you too. But I was so happy to see you in that video today. Thank you so much. Thank you for your words. Thank you for inspiring us every time.
Well, thank
Everybody
you.
were exciting.
Good. Did you have fun at the party?
Oh, yes.
I
Big time.
can attest to that.
Well, I have to just tell you guys, corporate blew me away with the quick and swift action that they took. And that, you know, it would have been really easy for them to just throw their hands up and say, forget it, it's not worth it. You know, they were getting feedback that some of the team members just wanted it canceled. And our company really blew me away. Their level of commitment and their level of determination and their drive to make this event happen, it really spoke to my heart and proved to me in a way unlike any other that they really are committed and they really are like driven to make this work for everybody. And I have to tell you, it was a very proud time for me to be able to see them jump through the hoops and do the things that they did.
Yeah, because we don't know all the things that they did. It was amazing.
Yeah, it really surprised us too because everything being so like nice and we're not even doing anything because you know here Latino people we are always like we are the one doing things and help here and help there and fix this and they not even allow us to not even not even move a chair anything like that.
Yes.
And we were like, can we help? Because we were thinking, like if we don't do this and we don't do that, the event wasn't going to come up due to all this stuff that happened. But they not even allow us to help or anything. And we were shocked. We were surprised and everything come up so nice. And like we were important for them. And
that's right. That's exactly right. Well, you know, what's funny is because Jose got his feelings hurt, Sean.
I know.
They sent him to his room. They're like, no, go. We've got this. Go to your room and enjoy yourself. You're our guest.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night because given that we didn't have anything to do like helping, we got together in Jose's house and we were talking about that. Like we felt kind of lost because we just want to like we have to do this, and they were like no, and we were like. It was funny. It was a funny feeling for us. and
yeah, because we were riding in the car, and Jose goes, "Well, I guess we'll have a barbecue at my house." I'm like,
"Yeah,
well, what else would you do?"
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, but you guys are their guests, so I'm glad that they stepped up and they did that. You need to feel special.
We did feel like that. I mean, but it was strange for us, but we love that feeling. Yeah. That they really show us that they put this event for us.
That's right.
And that we really were the star there. And nobody ever make us feel that way. I mean, I've been in other companies and no matter if the company say that is the company event, it was like always on our shoulders, everything. Yep. And I mean, I was real surprised, and I know a lot of us were surprised too because we kind of feel funny about it, but good, we love it. I mean, we felt special.
Well, I'm glad. I and I'll tell you, Sean, you guys don't know. So Wednesday night, We literally were on conference calls. I had Dave, Derek, Gentry, Travis, everybody was on conference calls all the way up until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was crazy. And poor Gentry and Travis and Summer and Cliff, like they were beasts in this. And they were like, no, we're not going home. No, we're not giving up. And they even had a little tip with Jose, because Jose was like, no, we need to just stop and cancel. And they were like, no, we're not. You cannot show up if you don't want to be here, but we're doing this. We got people that are showing up and we're going to show up for them. So, and even Dave Brown, you know, whenever the convention center first said we have to cancel before they knew about the hotel or anything, Dave Brown called and said, I just want you to know that there are people that have already traveled. So no matter what, I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm going to show up for those people. And even if we just have to have a couple of lunches and a dinner and sit around and talk, like I'm going to show up for them. And that spoke very loudly to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, day one was amazing. I'm on day two, so it'll be even more amazing if I don't fall off the stage.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Kayla?
Oh, yes. I was scared, but then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe all that twist you made and this and turn. Oh my God. I'm so glad that you didn't hurt yourself. I mean,
No, I'm good. All good. So yeah, it's amazing. Any of the guests, if you've got a question, go ahead and either raise your hand or just ask your question. So here's one of the things that I got from today. And if you've got a question, just raise your hand and I'll see it pop up here. But one of the things that I got from today was how important it is to have your story. Kayla, who you just heard speaking, told her story. It's probably the second time she's told her story in the detail that she did. But what that did was it causes the audience to think about themselves and say, if she could do it, I could do it.
That's right.
That's one of the things that most of our stories don't do. We make them too complicated. We make them too much about the money. We make it too much about something that nobody can do. Now, you can't do my experience, but you can do your experience. And when you start to tell your story, if you tell it in a way, like my story is I was born in New York, raised on a farm, sold corn off a hay wagon when I was 5. I've been in sales for 50 years. But I barely made it through high school. And my daddy taught me a lesson. If you help enough other people, right? The Zig Ziglar message. So I've made it my life's goal is to figure out what other people are afraid to ask for and see if we can't give it to them.
That's
and
right.
do it in a way that makes them realize they deserve that thing they've been fearful of. When you tell your story, people begin to fall in love with you. And if you think this business is about commission, if you think this profession is about enrollments, you'll be rebuilding your organizations for years.
That's right.
When you start to build your organization based on commitment, based on not comparison, based on conversation, not compensation.
That's right.
The team that was here today has been through hell and back for a variety of reasons. Before our company, life happens to them, but they still show up. And that's the reason I love the Latin market, is because there's just an unwritten law that you love each other.
That's right.
Or you absolutely despise each other and you're not in the same room.
That's right. Yeah.
And what I love about this person, this soul that you hear that's in this background, Angel Fletcher, who's actually my business partner, she's taught me so much of this. And she does it subconsciously. I don't say subconsciously. She does it consciously. She's a conscious competent. But her actions, right? She said it earlier to Kenya, get out of her ears and into her eyes. There's just things that no talking will ever convince somebody you can do it. So as you sit here tonight, I don't even know, is it a Friday night, Saturday night? I'm not sure. I think it's a Friday night. Friday night. So as you sit here on a Friday night on the Zoom call, you got to ask yourself, who heard your story today?
That's right.
Who heard your story so they could say yes or they could say no? Because I can tell you this, if you didn't tell your story, you said no today. You know, you determine somebody's net worth by their network. Who'd you add into your circle of influence, your circle of friends today? Not your list. How many people did you say thank you today? I love events. I love events because the hotel staff, you get to say thank you to all of them and it freaks them out.
That's right.
And it's amazing what they will do for you for a simple thank you. So I'd ask each of you that's on here, how many times did you say thank you today in an instant message? How many messages did you send out today to let people know that they're important to you? Because to sit there and say my business isn't growing, Jim Rohn would say, that's a clue. If your business isn't growing, it's your business. So what in your business grew today? What skill do you need to go to sleep tonight so that tomorrow when you wake up, you can begin to get into action? That's part of the IPAs, right? Income producing activities.
Mm-hmm.
And income doesn't always mean money. Do you have people that, if I needed to right now, Angel would move hell and high water to take care of something if I needed it?
That's right.
Why? Why is that? We've known each other for 2 years. Well, because our souls have been entwined for thousands of years.
That's right.
Who on your team right now, if you called them up tonight, do you have anybody in your organization that you've enrolled that you could call them up and say, hey, I need you to pick me up at the airport. I'll be there in an hour. My daddy said, if you don't have people that you can count on like that, you ain't got a team. The first time competition comes along, and with this coronavirus and everything else, that's the competition right now, is brain space, is how do we get into their heads over this pandemic of panamania of just absolute insanity.
That's right.
People need to have control. People want control. And if you're telling them what to do, you're taking away their control. You're going to have to become great at asking questions. What's changed? What can we do? How can I help you today? Something's going to eat your lunch in 2 weeks because you just got laid off. You got maybe 2 weeks of income sitting in your house. What can you do in the next 2 weeks to start to replace your income? Most of us have an opportunity to be able to put somebody into business overnight. Do you have a story that would allow somebody to feel comfortable to get into your business overnight? Then if you don't, you got to ask yourself, does it cost too much in a time in history right now where people are afraid to spend money? What can you do that's going to put money in their pocket? All they need to know is the ROI. So what's the return on investment? Are they going to have to go learn 48 hours worth of content? Or can they talk to a friend and say, hey, listen, I'm excited about this. You could do this too. Because that's what's going to happen next. I mean, Angel, you've seen this. You built your first business and didn't even know you were building a business.
That's right.
And it was because you wanted to take care of your daughter. So, I mean, how did that happen? All of a sudden you started getting checks and you didn't even know there was a business behind it. Why did that happen?
Because I did everything from my heart. Everything is a heart thing for me, not transactions. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. Today, Sean, I'm watching all this craziness and panic, and people are scared. They don't know what's coming, and they don't know how to do anything. And what I've learned in this is people can't, especially women, we can't think. We have two sides of our brain. We have our emotional side and we have our logical side. And when our emotional side is being fear-driven and panic-driven, we don't make good decisions. And so today I sat down. I have almost 190,000 contacts in my phone. Okay, that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I know, right? It's crazy. You should see me when I get a new phone. It takes like 16 days to import everything. It's nuts. And so today I sat down and I took 1 hour and I took a voice message and I went through my A's. And let me tell you guys, the responses that I'm getting, I literally did a voice message and I said, hey, beautiful, listen. In a time where things are crazy and there's panic and there's fear, I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you and I want to make sure that you're safe. So give me a shout out. Let me know that you're good. I'd love to catch up. 972 messages I sent out today. So the cool thing about this, Sean, is that if I do a letter of the alphabet every single day, in 26 days, I'll have spoken to 100% of my network in my phone.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't ask them for anything. I didn't try and sell them anything. I just love them. And you know what? I have gotten hundreds of responses back this afternoon and this evening. They just needed somebody to disengage the emotional thinking and engage the logical thinking. And they're better from one voice message.
Wow. I mean, so Jim Rohn would say that's easy to do. It's also easy not to do.
That's right.
When we understand that all too often everybody's like, well, you got to go, where do I go find contacts?
Yeah.
Well, you got 1,000 names in your phone book and you got 1,000 people on Facebook and you got 2,000 followers on Instagram or 10,000 followers. What if you just did that and sent them a message, just wondering about them? The challenge is most people, it's hard to send that message, Angel. I mean, help me on this. It's hard to send that message if we're not even sure if we're okay.
Absolutely. But listen, because I just gave you the task, I just disconnected your emotional brain and engaged your logical brain, because now everybody on this call is already thinking about, who can I send that to? Who do I need to check on? How is that going to help my business?
Now it's no wonder why she has 85,000 people in just one Facebook group.
But that's what people want. You know what? Let me just say this.
Yeah, please go.
People are seeing your posts. They're expecting you to try and sell them something. So when the world is expecting you to go left, why not go right? Why not shock the tar out of them and not try and sell them something? So I'll tell you guys, whenever I do this kind of an exercise for myself, I pretend like that part of me is a secret. And they have to ask me what's going on. And they have to ask me specific questions in order for me to share my secret. Because there's some of these people that I checked on today, I don't want them in my business, but I want them in my network. I want to love on them. I want them to have a better life because I'm in it.
That's gold right there. And so the key is, it's not about doing so much you don't know what to do. It's about doing what you can do. She picked a letter. She picked A's.
Yep.
There's 900 people in her A's.
Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot more in the C's.
Yep. And W's. Oh, yeah. Lord, it'll take me a month of Sundays to get through W.
So when we see the challenges is that, and I'm looking at the audience, there's a lot of younger folks, followers and people who are, whether they're following back or this, that, or the other. Do we really even know any of these people? I mean, that's the challenge. So why not create a way to just go out and be that support? Well, I'm too young. I'm too this. So Angel, put yourself in with your experience, but say you're 25 years old and you've got 15,000 followers on Instagram, but you really haven't made a whole lot of money in your business yet. Do I deserve to go out and check on people? I mean, from a woman, right? That's the thing. Like, well, they're going to ask me how much money I make. Do I qualify to ask people for help?
Well, I think that, yeah, absolutely, you qualify because you're being a good human. You don't qualify if you're trying to sell them a $10,000 kit in their eyes. And
Right.
so the qualification here is, you're going to attract those people, especially followers. Do you know how many followers? If you had 10,000 followers and you said, I'm going to do 100 a day, and I'm going to reach out with these followers and I'm going to say, dude, listen, and change it to be your own language. If they are used to seeing emojis on your Instagram or on your Facebook, be an emoji queen. Put those emojis in there. I'm not. I don't even know how to put emojis. I know the smiley faces. That's about it. But they know me by my smiley face. And so I would go into even my followers or people that have liked my post, and I would send a message and say, girl, listen, Linda, I don't know about you, but I'm seeing all this stuff falling apart around the world, and all this crazy world needs is more love. So I just wanted to reach out and check on you. Make sure you're doing okay. Bring you a little kindness on a day where things feel a little crazy. That's all I would do. They're following you for a reason, and maybe they're sitting over there waiting to hear from you. You won't know if you don't try.
Well, there you go. Any other questions, team? Girls, gals, whoever. I mean, that
it's crazy because I've been thinking about this exact topic that we're talking about the last 2 days, just because the whole situation. I'm being aware of the struggle, man. Like it's crazy. Like some people, don't have the opportunity that we have, right? And they depend of their job 100%. So, like for example, my job just shut down. Like, we're not working anymore. And I see the opportunity that we have, and it's huge and it's insane. And I know it can help a lot of people. And I think it's a good moment to maybe help people, but at the same time, I feel like it's also a moment where people take advantage of the fear that is happening to just rank up, right? So it's two sides of the situation, like I think, like, no, I believe we have a really good industry that can help people for sure, but I'm telling you, I think people at the same time take advantage of the fear that they're feeling to just enroll them. So it's just crazy. It's like, it's really confusing at the same time, because it's what Angel was saying, like people sometimes is just expecting you to sell something. And it's just insane.
So, in the words of Zig Ziglar, sales is the transference of enthusiasm. What if you were trying to sell them something, but you were trying to sell them hope a little bit, give them a little bit more belief that somebody is actually caring about them? If you sold them that there's still good people, there's still good humans out there. What if that was the conversation? Like Angel just said, hey, listen, I'm just checking on you. I hope you're doing well in this world of craziness. I want you to know that somebody's got your back. Just checking in on you. Do you know what that would sound like? Do you know how powerful and how strong that would sound like to most other women? Or is like they're worried about all of this other stuff? Like you said, and I can't even begin to put myself into a woman's brain, because I know that absolutely.
Don't try.
Yeah, no, that's like electricity and fireworks all in the same thing.
Yes.
So, but when you have that conversation and it comes across with an essence of just pure enjoyment, pure caring, like Angel said, there's people who have responded just because, and they may not have connected in the longest of time, but because of the way the intention was sent, it's like, well, I gotta say thank you for that. It's called it'll come to me in a second. The permission ask. When you have a conversation with somebody, it's the law of reciprocity. By design, they're going to have to call back. No, Angel, thank you. Everything's good. It's just there's this need of forced reciprocity that people are going to have to reach back out.
That's right.
But it was because of the intent with which it was sent that it's okay for them to reach back out. Right? You do, Danielle. I watch you do stuff in Spanish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see you do it both in English and both in Spanish. I got to tell you, being down here with my Latin family and having thousands of people, there was, Angel, there was probably 150 that didn't show up of all of the name tags that were already printed.
Right.
Because they're coronavirus and they're this.
Yeah.
So a couple of the guys from Mexico, I do what I normally do. I do that message. Hey, listen, I'm here with David, and I asked him who's somebody a leader in your organization, in his organization. He said your name, and so Dimitri, listen, I just wanted to say thank you. She sent back this message to him that he kind of like looked at it on WhatsApp, and he showed it to me, and he translated it. She said, I felt the support of God.
Oh.
And he's like, I can't, he says, you don't even know her. I said, yeah, but I've been doing this for 22 years. I probably do know her better than you do, because all they want is to be at the event.
Yes.
And I said, you're not at the event, but I'm telling you, you're here right now because David told me about you and I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet you. And she writes back. That's all she wrote back. I felt the support of God.
Wow. That's
I'm like,
sweet.
how could you ever stop doing this profession?
Yes. Yes. Well, you know what's crazy, Daniela, is that when I sent out all of these messages, not only did I get an overwhelming response of people sending back and responding, yeah, girl, I'm good. But 100% of the people that responded back and said, what about you? How are you? So what I've learned is what I want them to know about me is what I need to know about them. And so, of course, I said, oh, listen, I'm good. I'm in a 30-day lockdown, trying to take care of my immune system, get it back up and going. So, you know, I know, and a lot of these people, I know who they are. I know what they do, and they're not network marketers. Like one of my old school friends, Chris, I know that she's a nurse. And so I responded with her and said, girl, I know that doctor's office is crazy right now. How long are you guys looking at running these 14 to 16 hour days? And so I didn't make the initial message feel personal. Like I didn't put their names because I said, hey, beautiful, or hey, man. But in my second response to them, I individualized it based on who they were. And you can do that from a Facebook page. You can just go, or even Instagram, you can go and see what people do. They talk about what they do. And so by making it personal, she immediately reached back out to me and said, girl, listen, I don't know. Things are crazy. I don't even know if I'm going to have a job. What if my office shuts down? I don't know. I'm going to pay my bills. Like they started telling me their problem, which then opened the door for me to walk through to say, girl, listen, I know you've seen what I do. You know how blessed I am. Well, you've never taken a look at it. Don't you think now you might just want to take a peek? Can I shoot you over the video? So I did, although I didn't do all of this today and start this for sales, I got them. And that was the beautiful, that's the magic in this. I don't go and hunt for money. I don't go and use people and make them feel like they're my targets. I fish. I throw some bait out there. I see who bites and I have conversations, because I learned about 4 years ago that the person making the most money is the person having the most conversations.
Does that help, Daniela?
Definitely. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And so the experience that you're hearing from Angel, because just to get to add a little credit, and I don't say credibility, but just her street cred. 7 years ago, Angel, not in the industry. Was it 7 years? 7 years ago, decided in the middle of the night to pack a suitcase with her and her kids and to drive away from an abusive relationship. Daughter was not doing so well health-wise. Somebody shared a product. Somebody cared to share a product. Now, I got to tell you, nobody would have shared the product with Angel. She was not what people look for.
No.
Just from a check the box. She didn't check any of the boxes.
No.
But somebody cared enough about her to say, there's this product. And she said, I wonder if it'll help my daughter. Used it. And then Katie barred the door, get the hell out of the way.
That's right.
And in the course of this, I know you add the numbers because you've lost weight a couple of times. Is it 200 pounds?
No, I'm just under 400 pounds that I've lost total.
So all of that to say, and she never stopped.
No.
And this whole time, I mean, we all think about our business and we say, well, I wonder if the company's going to do this. I wonder if the company's going to do that. They did 10,000 samples out of lunch bags.
Yep.
When they started their business. If you're strong enough to say, I want it, then you better have the backbone to go get it. And that's what every day I'm always impressed with how this woman, who now is in a 30-day lockdown in her own house to make sure her immune system gets back on track, had more sales than most of
I think we lost you.
because most conversations, and that's what she teaches our community.
Yep.
And that's what she teaches our groups. And we do these things that the blitzes that are just crazy. 1,200 people blitz in an hour. 1,200 people contacted in an hour. So figure out how to have conversations with your community. Figure out how to use some basic systems that allow you to share you and not a script. The script's there can be some basic language, but people are scared to bejeebies right now. Right? I saw somebody posted they wanted to put something on the ANMP from Italy, and they were explaining the crisis in Italy and how doctors are starting to decide, and I don't know if it was real or not, I didn't post it, approve it, but they're saying doctors are deciding who lives and who dies like in wartime now. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that conversation, but people are going to be scared. And the only solution they have is something to do from home, which is a home business, which is us. So stiffen up your backbone a little. People are looking for you, and don't let their fear of the unknown keep you from doing what you know.
Absolutely.
Angel, any last comments?
Well, I want you girls to know, I didn't start out knowing anything. I knew nothing. I was as broke as I was broken, leaving a marriage of 20 years to an alcoholic. I didn't leave because I didn't love him. I left because my daughter was sick and his alcohol was more important. And so if there's one thing that I would say to you is, fear is going to tell you, I can't do this. I'm wasting my time. Frustration is going to tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. And I am a unicorn. I am an absolute unicorn. I should never have done this. There are so many things, from not knowing my dad to losing my son to being divorced twice, having a suicidal teenager. There are so many reasons that my mind should have, if nothing else, my mind should have stopped me. And so when you think you're at the end of your rope, you're really only around 30 to 40%. Your mind can take you places you've never dreamed. You don't even have the ability to dream. I could have never have dreamt of the life that I'm living right now 7 years ago. I didn't even know it existed. That would have been like a fairy tale, a Disney story of some Disney princess. And so know your mind has more power and your heart has more drive than you even know exists. So stay steady in the days. Is more important that you hear those words on the days of frustration and when fear are creeping in, that you go walk in blind faith and stop telling yourself those stories that you keep saying. Stop comparing yourself to people who walked a completely different path. You could never walk my path. I would never walk yours. And when you walk away from this conversation, and there are things that I love about Sean, he didn't tell you guys how much money I make. He didn't tell you about the success that I had. But just know in 364 days, I went from nothing, from zero to hero. Top earner of the company, making more money than anybody in that company. I got there, figured out it wasn't a good fit for me, and walked away from every penny I was making because I did not do it for the money. I joined the company that I'm with now and went from zero to top earner in 353 days. I did not do it without having frustrating days. I did not do it without having doubts and fears. There were many, many, many. The only thing that set me apart is I kept saying, listen, there's nothing going to stop me. I don't care how unhappy I am. I don't care how scared I am. And on those days, I want you to know, you can hear it from me, that every single one of you has the ability to do something I've never done before. I truly believe that there are people on this planet that have the power to do things I still can't dream of. And you never know, girls, if you listen and you implement some of this to your business, you could be that person. You guys have a great mentor here. Sean Murphy is second to none. So stay plugged in, use his wisdom. He is so smart, so wise, so kind, and everything that he does comes from a serving heart. You know, there's a lot of people that would host these calls trying to recruit you out of the opportunity that you're in and trying to get you into the opportunity that he's in so that he can monopolize on the beautiful greatness that he's identified in each of you. And I'd lay my money on it. That's never happened. So trust in that. Trust in that. Follow him. Listen to his guidance. Put it to work for your business.
Oh, thank you, Angel. I love you.
I love you. And he didn't pay me to tell you girls that.
Yeah. And, but this is why we believe in MLM, me loving more, mentors leading mentors.
That's right.
This isn't about how big my car is or how fast my house is or however you say that. I'm not even used to saying that. So just know this, there's a heart that beats inside of you. There's a legacy that you're each wanting to leave. Today could be the day you decide it's the day you've had enough.
That's right.
So I love you all. I'm doing the call in the morning. We're Danielle, I don't know, we're an hour earlier. So instead of 8:30, we're doing it at 7:30 East Central Standard Time. So whatever that time is here, 6:30 from here, 7. So anyways, it's an hour earlier. So jump on that tomorrow because it's the weekend, and we'll go from there. I appreciate you.
This was
Love
so
you
much
all.
fun. Thank you for letting me join in.
Thank you, Angel. Your wisdom, we all got to walk away with your wisdom. We appreciate that.
Now you girls go shock the world. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Hey.
I love you, Kayla Cortez.
Kayla Cortez, I'll see you tomorrow, my love.
Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.